Like, I was really on the verge of like having like a mental breakdown, and I was like, no, there has to be something that should make me feel better. Hola mi gente, welcome back to my channel. Oh! Anyways guys, today we will be discussing something totally different. As you can see by the title of the top of this video, we will be discussing self-care, and we will be discussing anything that has to do with mental health. So if this is something that you're interested in, please sit tight and enjoy. Guys, please don't look at these headphones. I'm upgrading. Stay tuned. I'm upgrading, okay? Before we proceed, guys, please ensure to like this video, comment in this video, and ensure you're subscribed to the channel. All right? Gracias.
Remember, guys, I upload on Mondays. Alright? So whenever you want to see content, Monday.
So let's talk about self-care. Let's talk about mental health. Let's talk about being sane. Like, how do you guys do this? How do you guys do this? I been trying. It's like I've been in this self-care journey for over a year now, over a year and a half, and it has not been easy. So I'm here to ask, how do you guys do this? Are you currently in a self-care journey? How do you cope? Please let me know in the comments down below how you deal with this, because I need to know how you cope, how you deal, how you maintain a healthy self-care journey. Let me know. Nevertheless, it is so important for you to put yourself first. It is sorry. It is so important for you to acknowledge your triggers. Like, you should know what triggers that emotional imbalance, so you know what to avoid. Because what makes sense for you to be working on your journey and then having those enablers around you? That doesn't make any sense. So it is important for you to acknowledge those triggers so you can avoid that. Because honey, you come first. You are the shit, okay? Because it's like I'm trying to figure out, like, if you are unable to take care of yourself, how can you be there for someone else? How can you be there for a friend or a family? How can you do that? So it is imperial that you take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Do it. Take care of yourself, okay? And like, the belief that the act of self-care is selfish, it's so full of bullcrap. Because ultimately, self-care is actually knowing what your mind and your body requires for it to be content to its full extent. So the next time someone tells you that what you're doing is act of selfishness, you tell them, yes, I am, because I'm busy developing a relationship with myself. I'm busy telling myself that I matter. I'm busy telling myself that my needs matter too. Okay, honey? And then, like, it is very important to understand that not everything that feels good is considered self-care. Because when you're so vulnerable, and at the beginning of that stage or in the middle, or it doesn't matter which stage you're on, we can tend to use unhealthy coping mechanism. Like in my case, I used overeating and binge eating to make myself feel good. And come on, binge eating and overeating is not something healthy. And as a result, it kind of relieves the emotion temporary, but at the end of the day it doesn't, because I was getting all my skin was broken out. I was getting all these pimples. It was just nothing. It was nothing to say the least that was something healthy. And also, I came to the realization that loving yourself is a whole journey. Everyone does it at their own pace, in their own terms, and my way was making myself feel good and accepting myself for who I was, and making myself feel happy was when I realized that I like to travel. And going out of your comfort zone usually scares you, and it's very scary, but it is okay. Because when I did my first trip, it was my first solo trip, was when I went to Budapest, and it was like I was really on the verge of like having like a mental breakdown, and I was like, no, there has to be something that should make me feel better. That's when I realized, like, maybe I need like a weekend getaway or something. And I decided, okay, I'm gonna go to Budapest. I'm going alone. This is crazy. Someone might kill me, but I'm going to go. But I did go, and the feeling of actually going to a place alone, the idea of going to like a total different country or destination that you don't know anybody, that's just like a it's like another type of emotion. So I yeah, it was like my first self-care trip. And you want to know the beauty about this all, like you don't need to justify your journey to anybody. If it's your time and you need to just get away from everything and friends and family and social media, just do it, because you are the one going through it. So you don't need to justify to nobody, like at the moment I'm going through something and I'm trying to find myself, and no, just do it. You don't need to justify your journey to anybody but yourself. Okay? And if you can try and do one thing that puts a smile on your face every day, and that's something I'm gonna try and do moving forward. So as of tomorrow, I'll try and do something that will make me smile. Um, yeah, I'll try that and see how that's gonna turn out. And depending on your schedule, you can try and like schedule a self-care leave. Like last year when I started traveling, I tried every month. I will do like a city trip. So every month I will schedule a weekend where I discovered a new destination. I didn't do it for the entire year. I did it for like 3 to 4 months consecutively, and it was one of the most amazing things I've ever done. It was crazy and scary, but at the end of the day, it really helps. It really, really, really helps, and that will give you the opportunity to feel more at ease, and you will feel more recharged. And by doing this, you will look forward to something, and that will help your mental state, because at the end of the day, doing this is just for the simple pleasure of being as kind as you will be to others, if you know what I mean. And it is important to understand that the difference between, let's say, unhealthy coping mechanism and, let's say, self-care activities is that self-care activities actually has a long-term benefit for your mind, your body, and your soul. And if like you ever feel like you're in a certain mind state, or in a like in a hole, just try and reach out to somebody. There has to be somebody that you can confide in, that you can talk to, and you let them know that, hey, like I'm feeling this way, what can I do, or what can I do to feel better? And if not, you don't have that kind of person, you can always send me a DM, you can talk to me. I'm open to talk. I'm not the best talker, but I can be there for you or whoever needs it. So it is what it is. It is important to acknowledge that it is okay to feel a certain way. It is we have to normalize mental health, and the talks or the discussions of it's important to normalize it. It's not a big deal. We're humans. We have feelings. We tend to have ups and downs, and it's okay. It's not a big deal. Okay, so don't feel different because you feel like that, or don't feel different because you're not feeling like how anybody else is feeling, because you have to understand not everybody posts their failures on Instagram. I can probably post a smiley picture, and then 2 hours later I'm not feeling well, I'm sad. So don't let nobody fool you, honey. Nobody no Not everybody's posting their failures on Instagram. Okay, but at the end of the day, the journey is to understand what works for you, and you alone. I do see self-care as like a one size fits all, but you are the one to know what works best for you, because what works for you does not work for me, and what works for me does not work for you. Some people they're not the type to get their nails done. They're not the type to travel, and they're not the type to be doing skincare stuff. So it's whatever works for you. Nobody else but you. Okay, it might be very difficult, it might be very hard, but at the end of the day, it will be for your own good. And although I can say all these things, but at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to acknowledge that you want to start this journey. It is your responsibility to remove yourself from certain situations and equations and toxic environments. It is your responsibility to acknowledge that you want to be happy, that you need to make certain changes, it is your responsibility. So, I mean, this video might be all over the place and might not be concise, but at least I can bring this topic forward to let you know that it is okay, and it all starts with you. So, and I really promise you, I don't want to make this longer than it should be, but I just want to put it out there that I've been so different since I started this journey. I've been a total different person. Like, things happen to me and I react differently. And I think it's just the amount of love that I've accumulated, of I learned to give myself. So I'm compassionate with myself. I don't judge myself. I'm not so hard on myself, I think. So it does have a very positive benefit. So I will recommend it. If you want to see how I practice my self-care, let me down in a comment down below, and I will be more than happy to take you guys on to my journey. So let me know. Guys, at the end of the day, you matter, your needs matter, you're important, and your needs are important. So make sure you put yourself first. Ensure that whatever's happening around, you're the priority. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I do have more content coming your way. I upload on Mondays. And stay safe, stay healthy. Love you.